just keep it steady on the magic. Do my thing, I'm healing, it's fantastic. If I fall, rise automatic. You ain't know now, you know. Only one raise myself like a tree from the roots. West side girl, cause she lit in the coast. East side girl when she speaks to the roots. Stay 100 cause she on with the truth. Been there on struggle, know that it pass. Only going up, yeah, the pain don't last. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. This is take off. Shorty like Brandy, fight like Monica. What you know about her? Baby girl rising, way to the top. Shaking the world, don't expect her to stop. Purpose so great, she get what she got. Follow her step, cause she following God. What you need more, got a heart full of gold. Even at times when it's raining and cold. Ooh, she bout take off.
What up, y'all? It's your girl Hannah, aka Roots, and you are watching the Uprooted Network. Welcome back, everybody. Uh, this is our special season honoring Zuher's legacy. Maybe I think I'm gonna call it Summer with Zu, and or I don't. Oh, Leo season with Zu. I don't know. We gonna keep playing around with that. Um, but yes, we are doing a special season since the passing of our beautiful sister, Zuher. We have been trying to just make sense of the world, try to figure out what would Zu do, right? Like what would she be doing? And how I answered that for myself was like she would tell me to keep doing the show. And I was like, well, how do I do that without her? And I was like, well, I'm not going to do it without her. I'm going to honor her through the show. So I have a very beautiful guest with me in the house. My sis, all the way, okay, all the way from New York, the
Hey,
queen
girl.
herself, okay, the queen herself. I be calling you A. I'm gonna let them call you what you want them to.
No, that's fair.
But yes,
I go by many different aliases, unfortunately. To my family, I'm Asu. But
okay.
professionally, my name is Aseye, and I'm here to talk to my good friend. So I'm excited.
Love it. Yes. This has been a long time in the making for multiple reasons. I feel like it's a very special, a very special episode. Um, we met over a year. When did you get on? Like,
Like a little over a year ago, yeah.
yeah, like a year and some change. Of course, on this beautiful app Clubhouse that has taken over our lives.
Truly, chokehold.
Right, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's got us. It's got us good. But honestly and truthfully, yeah, it's been over a year, and we met on Clubhouse. And when I tell you, A came in like on some fire. Okay, I was like, I don't know who this.
Swinging.
I didn't know who this girl was. I was like, who is? I woke up in the morning real peaceful. Okay, everybody knows I'm a very peaceful person. And I said,
I
who
know.
is this? Who is this girl? Like, oh my God. Right. And they were like, oh, this is Zu's friend. I said, okay. They said New York. I said, okay. Makes sense
Prevalent.
now. Yes. I was like, wow, okay. This I'm not gonna take seriously. She's trolling us. She gonna make a mockery out of
Truly. And to this day, same.
it's
Same.
hilarious. It's actually one of the most entertaining things ever. And flash forward a year later, we're still rocking with each other, and it's still laughs, right? Like it's I people are like, what makes you laugh? I'm like, this girl, like there is a few of y'all that just have me on the floor in puddles, just like why, like why?
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Oh my God.
I'm a professional clown. It's what I do.
It's not even like you try, right? It's like, and this is something that we could relate back to Zoo, right? And maybe it's the New York swag to y'all, but it's the comebacks. They're so quick. There's no hesitation. There's no thought process. It's just right
Honestly,
off
bro.
the tongue.
Because, yeah, if you didn't have that type of energy growing up where we grew up, then you get eaten alive. Not to say that we didn't have the best upbringing, because our parents did their best, and their best was honestly phenomenal. But, yeah, it's rugged out here. It's rough. You have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, stand on your own 10 toes always.
Oh my gosh.
Fair.
This 10 to
Also, I was a high-key bully in high school. Sorry, people. So I'm a recovering bully. I'm trying to work my way back. So
I think all New Yorkers are recovering bullies, if I'm being honest.
no, some of them were the bullied.
Okay.
Some of them were the bullied. Zu was not. And I guess I wasn't either.
Okay, well, we love to hear it, right? Somebody got some backbone. That also reminds me of to plug in the Tri-State to Garu, right? Because
Okay.
y'all are a special bunch for sure. A very beautiful bunch. I've been really enjoying getting to know all of the different communities across the states. Um, Tri-State is very close to home to me. I'm like, okay, I get it. There's always that like that overlap between people like it's like they'll be in Oakland and then they'll be in Brooklyn. Like two very opposite ends of the coast, but like tend to get along, you know?
They get it. They get it
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Yeah, you know,
Yes.
like TPN Tri-State was actually brought on by like Zu. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she was like pushing us for like months. Like we got to get organized. We got to get together. We started, but you know, certain members of the Tri-State Tagata group, they've really been organizing, and they, you know, they're like, hey, also like you have to get involved in this, like TPN, look it up. I hadn't even heard about TPN prior to Zu.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like she really held it down and introduced me to some of the most amazing people, lifelong friends from the national team. That's how I met Dawit, Mebrat, and all of them. So shout out to them, gang.
Yeah.
And yeah, like God bless her for doing that, because it literally realigned my focus. It gave me purpose. It helped me. It's honestly an outlet during these past. It's been an outlet during these past 600 days. So yeah, shout out to Zu, bro. She did that.
Mm-hmm. She did. And for reference for people who maybe this is their first time hearing it, so TPN is Tagadu Professionals Network. At this point, if you are a longtime follower, you're probably tired of me. Like, I swear, people like for the longest time, for the first year, people really thought I was on the national team. Like they would just assume I was on everyone assumed I was on the team. They would be like, oh, can you do this and this? And I would have to like refer them. I'd be like, oh, I actually don't handle any of this stuff. I just am a fan, and a lowly member myself. I don't make decisions around here. And I would have to pass them on. But yes, Tagadu Professionals Network, Zu was very, very, very passionate about like doing it. I remember having that argument with her where I was like, "Girl, who told you to join the national team? Like, who told you?" I was like,
When she told me, I was like, I'm not giving you up. You better learn how to do both. Like I literally, me and he verbatim were like, well, you better learn how to multitask, girl, because we ain't letting you go. We for damn sure ain't letting you go.
It's a fight. It was a fight. I think there's a bidding war at one time.
I'm sure there was. But yeah, it's just we weren't ready to let her go then. We're not ready to let her go now. Her chair hasn't been, I don't think her chair will be replaced. It's just going to be held there in her honor. Girl.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It will never be.
It's not, you can't necessarily, like, I try to tell people, you can't necessarily replace anything, right? Like, there's no replacing something or someone. Like, you don't replace that person or that, like, that position, whatever it is. Like, you just can't, it's not going to be the same. And so there's a grieving of, I was thinking about this earlier today. There's like a grieving of her, right? And like her presence and her being and all of that. But then I think the part that hurts like more for me is like the grieving of her potential. You know what I mean? And like that is like where it's like you can't really replace her and like what she was able to do and what she was able to accomplish. It's more of like, okay, what can we do with what she's left behind for us? You know, like the loss of like the dreams of like that she was trying to build and that she was working on with folks. Like, because I know like that's what we talked about all the time was like different ideas, like how can we help, how can we build this, like, you know, we were really in that headspace all the time, right? Like it was so easy for us, like we would be keying about something and then we would go straight into like, ooh, that's a good idea for this, and like put together a whole event and idea or whatever. And that's not, you can't replace that, you know what I mean? You like, that's not something that is easily found, but it's more so, I don't know, I heard a quote earlier, it's like more so what did she leave behind in us, you know, like what did she inspire in us, like what did she do to like pull us out. And so she might not be here to do that, but she put all of you guys together, you know, she put
Damn
all of
sure
us
did.
together. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Damn sure.
yeah, it's like what do we do with that, right?
You know, like that actually is a really great question. Woo!
It's okay, breathe through it, sis. It's not, you can
Yeah,
talk about what you have been trying to do at least.
yeah. No, Zu's legacy, the question of her legacy is actually such an important question because it's what's driving us in the Tri-State right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even with regards to Zu Day, some looking on the outside in might think it's just a celebration of her birthday, but it's not. It's so much more than that. It's honoring her.
Mm-hmm.
It's honoring her and her legacy. Like, what did Zu leave us with? Like, yes, her life has so much meaning, so much shit, so much purpose, but she can still be that. She can still be that. So we're trying to channel the pain, channel the hurt, channel the loss into something positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing I'll say that Zu taught me is that we have to learn to give each other flowers while we can still smell them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
the things that I've heard about Zu, that's what, 2-3 months, have been amazing. But these are things that we knew about her when she was alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, sometimes I think like maybe that could have added some more years to her life, and just knowing how loved she was, or you know, just I don't know. I just feel like we have to learn to appreciate each other and love on each other while we're still here. And
Yeah.
so that's really what Zu Day is about. Zu Day is about honoring her legacy, honoring each other, and you know, propelling this culture. Like we gotta keep the culture alive. So that's her legacy to me.
And it's so beautiful to like um to see that, right? Like the alchemy of it is, and I think I talked about this like that the week we got back and we were doing all the memorials for her. I don't know in which room, because at this point there were so many like back to back. But I was saying that it's like we have so much love and there's nowhere for it to go, or like we feel like there isn't, and we're just like, where do we pour this into and how do we do this? And there's also like the love that we were getting that we're like, where is that? Because you're like feeling that absence very much, like on like the smallest occasions, right? Like I'm getting emotional now. Like I just always have to pause and breathe because it's like, oh, I would be texting Zu about anything and everything, right? And I know you had the same relationship because that's what I got to witness between the both of you. Hilarious. Oh my god, y'all. When y'all two would go back and forth, oh my god. It was like the funniest. Oh my god, it was like the funniest. I would be like, "Oh, here they go." And anyone who didn't know who you guys were would think you guys were fighting for real. Like, "Oh shit."
Like high key, like we were beefing. Like you know.
Yeah. And I was just like, no, girl, they just from New York.
Honestly, like literally, like it's like, you know, if we like you, we're just meaner. The more we like you, the meaner we are. It's just really in the blood. But nah, that girl was funny. That girl was funny as
So
all
funny.
hell. And
She
she
would come
loved.
back.
You mentioned that. Like I did guess before you said it, I hadn't really thought about it like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was that expectation, like that feeling of like she used to pour into people. You know what I'm
Oh, all
saying?
day.
Like, and she taught me also, like at my big age, she would teach me how to show up for people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that girl, I don't know how she was created. She's just very different. At
Very.
23, I was not moving or thinking like she was.
Oh no, absolutely
Yeah.
not. I think like
Shout out
at
to Ali and Aziza, by the way.
oh, absolutely. I don't
Big shout out.
her parents, her family, and shout out to Fami too. Like there's like you can just tell they grew up with love. Like a lot of love. Like a lot of love. Um you could just tell like what I think for me when it was very very prevalent, not this last time but like the first time we got her mom on Clubhouse and she was kikiing with us, I
Oh
was like,
man,
oh,
what a night that
oh
was.
my god, I said, oh, you are the spitting image of your mom. And that
What a
she's
night.
just so funny. And it was a reoccurring thing too because like me and Zoo, that's what it was that like really helped bond me and Zoo, was that I was in the Bay, early on that time when I had first met you is when I was still in the Bay. And you know how my mom would like she always just pop up in the background like doing the most, and Zoo's mom would do that too anytime she came back in town. So we would always laugh because they would just do the most. And you know, Zoo always watches my stories, so she would always see my mom come bring my buna in. And then we would be on Clubhouse just kikiing, and I was like, this is so funny. But like y'all's like relationship, and even with Fami, like he would be in the background too, and he probably doesn't realize like
Oh
how
my
much.
gosh. I was beefing with Fami before I even met him, bro. Well, obviously I had met him years ago, but we just kind of all found each other again through this crisis. But
Yeah.
the first time I spoke to Fami, I literally was asking him if I could like room jokingly with him
Hmm.
and his sister. Girl, I have never been shut down so hard. And he sang it to me. He said, hell no. Like he literally sang it to me. So I was like, oh God, Fami.
Oh
He's full
my
of,
god,
I love that kid though. What a good kid. I'm telling you, their
so
parents took their
funny.
time.
This is what I'm saying, like so funny. Like they would always be in the background, and so like you would get that sense of them. You know what I mean? And it's so very like I don't know. You could just tell like that girl grew up with love, and even then, y'all's mouth was just like it's just that New York in you. Like the back and forth. It was through everybody. Her parents would roast. They was roasting us.
Oh
Like
my gosh. You gotta
she
have
was.
thick skin around them too. I'm telling
No,
you.
what it Mama Aziza was just like, and you guys, you stop lying to yourselves.
Yeah. She don't play.
That's there. She was like, "That's not right. You know, that's not right. That's not respect." And she's just like going in, and all we could say was like, "Yes, yes." You know, we ain't playing with y'all. We hear you and secede. Um, and you could tell it didn't matter what Zoo was doing. She couldn't fix her mouth to disrespect her parents, right? She would never like she would tell people she was like, I'm a lot of things, but the last thing is you would catch her be is disrespectful, right? Like she couldn't do it. Like she
Bro,
couldn't turn to that. Like it's not in her,
I
and
don't
so
think
you
she
know
even
that.
wanted to. She like
No.
even if she had it, like she never wanted to. Like I've never met
Mm-mm.
somebody who had so much like admiration for their parents at a
Like
young age too. Because like you tend to like get that level of admiration through maturity and getting out of the house and having kids of your own. That's when you have to really gain admire or like like
mhm.
admire your parents. But she really, I'm telling you, it's like, I'm not saying this just because she's Zu. Like, she literally was so different. She was so different. My goodness, like, so different.
Like the fact that everybody can get it, like, because I get along with a lot of people, but she got along with the people I don't even get along with, you know?
Right. Like, she made everybody feel like a child of God. I'm like, girl, him too? Like, you know, like, I was just like, wow. Just her capacity was just different, you know? Like, if she was having a bad day, if she was off, if she was still checking in on you, she was still looking out for you. You know what I mean? Like, she just was such a giver.
Oh, absolutely. And she always wants to put somebody on, like all the time. Like if she found something great that she thought made sense for you, then she would send it to you. She would let you know. Like she would go out of her way to be like, "Oh, I was thinking of you," or "I found this and I thought of you," or "Maybe you could. This is useful for you." She was constantly thinking, like she's always resourcing and constantly making sure that she passes those along, right? Like she didn't like keep anything to herself really, like maybe privacy wise, whatever, but in terms of knowledge, no. Like anything that she knew, she made sure that she shared with somebody else.
I mean, I can't even.
Yeah, it's okay. Take a second, love. That girl really
Sorry.
is something. No, you gotta listen. This is what it is, right? Like, this is what it is to miss her, right? Because when you think of it, you probably went back and you thought of like, when's the last time she sent me those things, right? It was an everyday thing because it's like, hey, Zoo, can you send me this? Like, we'd be in conversation, like, hey, Zoo, hey, I'm doing it. We would like make her do everything because she's always on the computer and we'd be hands free and would be like, Zoo, hey, oh, you look that up? Can you send, like, Zoo is sending this into your inbox right now as you speak, right? Like, that's the type. As you're talking, she goes, oh, I just sent it to you. Yep, it's just there. It's right here. Like, if this is her. She ain't moving. She ain't moving. She just, yep, it's there. And meanwhile, the whole time she's cracking jokes. I'm like, who,
Like,
who
she
are
handled it
you?
with so much grace. Like, I'm telling you, like, there is a legitimate black hole in terms of like just her presence. Like, it just feels empty, you know. Like, you can talk about it from every angle. Like, with advocacy, bro,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we took a hit. We took a legitimate hit.
Yeah.
You know. And friendship, that was like a little sister, you know. So
Oh yeah. There's very like, so I interviewed Saba, and our
my
beautiful
girl,
sis.
I used to
You know, we love Saba, and we of course all in the boohoos. We just drowning in it. And I was sharing with her like just some of the revelations that we've been having, over conversations and such. And I was just like, Zoo's still bringing us together though. Like she's not done. You know what I mean? Like every day, like you meet someone else who knew her, and then it's an instant conversation starter, and it's an instant bond of like, oh, you loved her too, okay, like you know what I mean? Like it's like
legit
it's
solidarity in
such,
her honor, like for real,
yeah,
for real. Yeah, that's true.
like
Like people
even
from
without her.
PA, they're all like I've never really like linked with them like that. You know what I mean? But people from PA, people from Rhode Island, people from Boston, of course, I've been in contact with, but like just people from places I just would never even think to like know people in. Just all are coming together in solidarity of just her honor, you know what I'm saying? So like even through death, she's working. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, because she put like, I think something we both realized was like we're planting seeds. You know what I mean? Like she was very intentional about like the work that she was doing because she could have been doing anything else. Like she's smart, like very smart. Like
Too smart.
she didn't. She did not need to be
Damn
messing
her.
with us. Okay, she could have been off somewhere else doing something different, not worrying about us. But she literally spent all her time and energy try to fight for everybody, you know, every day. And don't get us wrong, she still was also like taking care of business and all of this at 23. I was like, girl, you are more of a successful adult than I am, okay? And I got years on you. On you.
But
Like this is
she running a household, full-time student, getting her master's,
mhm.
full-time employee, you know, at like
Mhm.
a freaking law firm. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Full-time advocate. She was everything she did was full-time and at 100%. Nothing she did was half. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I pray to have an ounce of her strength. That's what
Yeah.
I really hope.
The only thing when you said that, the only thing that she went half on was her rest. And that was the one thing I would fight her about every day.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, I wanted to put a chokehold on that calendar at one point. I was like,
Honestly.
listen, I don't know if I should be your secretary. Can we get you an intern? You know what? And I think she had people under her also. Like, by the way, like
Yeah, managing
she wasn't
a
like,
whole like team.
yeah, she wasn't just like a full time, like she's doing her job. No, she's in a management role with people older than her working under her. I just want that to like sink in because it's not easy to be a woman in leadership, right? Let's just be honest, right? It's not easy to be a black woman in leadership, right? And then it's definitely not easy to be a Muslim black woman in
Never.
leadership, right? Let's keep adding layers because this is what Zu would always tell you. Everything is intersectional. Then let's add in ageism. It's not easy to be younger than the people that you have to give directions to, right?
Yep.
Like, and then work under people who don't value you and oppress you,
Exactly.
right?
You hit it
So
right
it's
on the head.
like, yeah, like she wasn't just like busy for busy's sake, right? She wasn't just doing anything and everything. Like she was very intentional about where she was spending her time, what was it going to last? Like, you know, what was the end goal of being in any position that she was in? You know what I mean? Is this sustainable? Is there something that I can build here? How am I being a resource, right? Like she was never just on some frolicky, like whatever nonsensical stuff. Like it didn't matter if you thought she was kikiing and joking around, she was always working on something, like
100%.
constantly. And then still found time to check on you.
She was she like she was also like an advocate for other marginalized groups too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gay
Oh,
rights,
absolutely.
DV, you know, women, not just black women, just women all around. Like
Hmm.
she's been such an advocate, a fierce advocate for all
Hmm.
of us. Like that is what we need to take away from this, in my opinion. Right?
Hmm.
What did she live for? Forget what did she really live for? You know, like she fought for the voiceless. She fought for those who could not fight for themselves. She fought for me. She fought for you.
Hmm.
Like, imagine having somebody like her in your corner. You really feel, you really feel like unstoppable. So,
Oh
just an
yeah.
advocate, just a true advocate, and that's what she leaves us with. We have to learn from her. We got to pick up where she left off. We got to make sure we don't skip a beat. We got to open up her nonprofit and shoulda. We got
Hmm.
to do all of that. So we can't let her down. She gave her life to
Yeah.
us. I mean, so I think about that all the time. I think about that every day, every single day.
Yeah. It's like I can get through more of the day now, but like there's always gonna be a point where I stop and I'm like, oh wait, she's not here still. Like I keep her they can't see it, but I have the brochure up there from the service. And I knew, like instinctively, I knew that like I had to have a reminder, like that she was gone. Like if I didn't have that reminder, my brain would probably go the rest of my life thinking she's still here, you know? Because like for me, I have that physical distance of not seeing her every day, but I get those reminders online, and then eventually you can start making up the story of like, oh, they're just not online or whatever, right? Like, like you can trick yourself into thinking certain things for a while until you remember again. And it's hard. Like it's a hole, because when you were saying that, I was remembering the literal times that Zu has stuck up for me. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gonna make me so emotional. Cause like I think you understand this too. Like, I'm the peaceful one, right? Like, compared to everyone in our
For
group,
sure. In our circle. Facts.
in our I am very much the peaceful one. And the funny thing is, if you knew me way before that, you wouldn't have thought that, right? Like, the reason why I always kiki and laugh with you is because I used to be that too. Like, I used to be that, like, cutthroat, like, quit playing with me, because I'm still, there's some episodes, if people are really fans, they'll go back and I'll be like, hey, I'm still from Oakland, y'all. You hold on.
Right.
Don't
Hold
forget.
on.
Okay, hold on.
I love you. Hold on.
wait,
Hold on.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Your Oakland always, your bae comes out
It
every
comes
time
out.
you say that, and it kills me. Hold on.
I always tell them, hold on, player, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Y'all doing a lot right now. And Zu really understood that, right? I think all of us do it in some way, right? Those of us women in our group, I think we understand, like, yes, I'm peaceful, and yes, I'm a yogi, but don't test me, bruh, because I'm still healing. Don't push the only person who got patience for you. You know what I'm saying? And I just always felt like Zu was just there. She was very, very present. Like, checking on me. She was like my tag team partner. Like, if I had to be the peacemaker in the room or whatever, she would kind of tag me. She said, what happened, sis? And I'd be like, yeah, tell them. Like, yeah, come get your people. You know what I mean? And she, imagine she could come and just gather you, like, she would just gather you real, like, she wouldn't even cuss you out, and she would just gather you. And I was like, thank you, because I'm so tired. And it was just, man, it was so helpful. And then thinking about the literal physical times, like, when I've been upset or whatever, and I, like, sometimes I feel like I don't have the space to be that, you know to, like, if I go rah crazy and I do this, it's like I have to think about who's looking up at me, and what example I'm setting, and those things. And I think Zu held me in that light, and she, like, protected that light, and she protected that space. And the times, like, people don't know, like, just offline, people have tried to attack me, or, like, say things about me. And I'm getting emotional because it's still, like, it hurts because she's not here to get this, but she knows, because we had these conversations, that, like, she literally stood beside me during, like, I can't even remember which event. Um, but she, like, stood beside me, like, the whole protest, and she was like, I see them. I'm not gonna move. If they got a problem with you, they got a problem with me. You know, and I don't think that
Shout out
everyone,
to her. Oh wow.
yeah, like, and I don't think, like, everyone knows that story. Like, the people who were there, like, y'all know who you are. Shout out to you, because there was a period last summer that um I kept having so much friction, with certain things that happen in our community that we've said, people who get a little too riled up at parties or whatever the case is. And that happens anywhere you go, right? And it's a big trigger for me. And Zu also understood that, because she and I, like, advocate so strongly about Black women, right? And about our safety and all of the things. And we're advocating for the women in Tigray right now. And so I was so very hurt during that summer, last summer. I was just livid and going through the most. And I just remember like not wanting to be at events, not wanting to go to places. Like my anxiety was through the roof. Like it was a lot. And I just remember Zu constantly checking on me and like making sure I was good, you know, like staying with me. Like the only reason I went to certain things and she knew. I was like, Zu, you know I'm only here for y'all. Like she goes, no, I know. She goes, I know. I love you. That's why she would never say nothing to me. She would never try to press the issue. She don't never try to press. She goes, oh, y'all got Hannah to come. You know she don't want to do this, and she would be, you know, very aware. And I loved her so much for that, and I always told her. And I just when you said that, I was like, no, Zu, she will stand up for you. Like quite literally, with her physical body, will stand in the way of you being hurt. You know. You know,
I've seen it. I've seen her be there for you
every time.
And it's not even like, you know, she's a fiercely loyal person. Like it's not even like she will be one way next to you and another way, you know, and not. She really loved you, Hanna. Like she really, really did, and she was one of the ones who told me to come on the show, like out of her mouth, like you have to talk to her. She's one of the ones who. She's the main one who told me about Uprooted Network.
Yeah.
You know? So she was an advocate of yours for sure. I think about stuff like that and I'm just like, we really didn't deserve that, girl. We really didn't. I've done nothing in my life to deserve somebody like you.
You know what's crazy? And what she would tell you though, is that everybody in life deserves somebody like Zu. You know, because like how much
what she would really say was, "I ain't nobody." That's what she really said.
No, Zu knew she was dope. She just wouldn't like. She knew she was dope. She wasn't gonna be like rude about it, but she knew she was fly. Like you couldn't tell her about herself. Like she'd be like, yes, period, thank you. Like, you know, like end of statement. Like big purr. You know, you think you like she's nice and you think you're gonna play her or put her in her place or something. She gonna correct you real quick, let me tell you.
Yo, but like we don't talk about enough. Like her soft side, she was such a marshmallow though. Like she had like this really tough, hardcore exterior, but bro, inside mush. Wait.
Oh yeah.
Can you still see me?
I don't
know what just happened. Sorry, I just gotta pop up.
No, you're good.
Inside, she was 100% mush. Okay, like I remember one time. We were actually on Clubhouse. Shout out to that club one time.
Yes, shout out to that club.
Period. We were on Clubhouse and she had said something annoying. She was annoying, bro. She said something annoying and I was like pretending to be fake mad. I was like, nah, don't talk to me. You're blocked. Gala. Like I was like going in. This girl texted me on the side like a few hours later. She's like, you weren't really mad, right? And I was like, girl, I wasn't mad. Like, you know what I mean? Like she just hated to be at odds with her people, you know what I'm saying? Like, man.
Yeah.
We can learn so much from that girl.
I know. I know what voice she did that in. You know when you just know her voices, right? Like she did it in her little whisper voice. She did it in her little whisper voice. Like so Zu had a little whisper voice. Like she didn't want to feel no, you know, she ain't put no pressure on you, but she would just do a little soft little. You know, I remember like one time she did that to me where she was like, Hannah, like she does that little whisper.
Right.
You know,
she used to keep me in check too. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, she was like a little whisper. Like you like, yeah, listening real close. Like, what you about to say to me, Zu? And, she was like, she goes, sis, I just want to tell you, no pressure at all. But like, you know, like you're very much missed. And I'm like, Zu, you talk to me every day. She goes, no, I mean like I need you to like restart Uprooted. And she'll be like, but no pressure. And like she'll just put like that little like,
No
I know you're
pressure.
taking a break and you're resting and all that. I just want you to know you're just missed. Like she didn't want to, like she ain't trying to rock the boat, like she's not trying to whatever. She just wants to, she'll just be a little soft, like just get into that little softness. And you're like, I just love you. I'm like, for you, Zoo, no problem. I'll do it. I'll be back next week. Like, no problem. So just teddy
That's
bear.
honestly what I miss the most. Now
Yeah.
think about it, like, because there are times where we be in meetings with like the Abeti of the Tri-State, and I'd be texting her sly on the side, like, "Bro, you better end this meeting right now because I'm gonna lose it." Like, and she would just help me get through it. Or like if we were in like any TPN meetings, I'm like, "Girl, what the hell are they talking about? They sound like anything, like just that reinforcement, like that she was a true rider. Like you would just, I don't have that anymore in those settings. I've lost it. So I really, man,
It is. It's like
I miss her so much.
it's hard. That's why I was like, I can't do it any other way. Like all these suggestions are always from her. It's like her, Ripka, Dawid, of course. Like there's always the people, but like there's a handful of people who just get it, who just get you. And I think that's the like one thing that we all keep saying is like she just gets you and she just shows up and like it's it ain't right. It ain't right and it's hard and it's like all I can keep thinking is like how do I continue to be that? You know? Like how do I continue to show up and do what she does? And I've been real creative lately. Like just sending I mean, I kind of always was doing stuff, but just being more creative, trying to send notes, trying to send like positive thoughts, especially to the guys. One thing that I think people don't realize about Zoo, um, and maybe we could shed light about this, and then also I want to highlight like what all is happening for Zoo Day and what y'all are doing because I think that's amazing. Is she really championed as much as she supported women, right? She wasn't like this feminist that bashed guys though, right? I think that like that's something that might not be as well known for people. And so something about Zoo that we can talk about is like we get you have these little gender wars and you have all this little drama or whatever,
Yeah.
and Zoo was not going to just be on your side because you're a girl. Let me tell you, like she
Not at all.
and we're both this way, right? We're strong feminists and we advocate for women and we do this, but we're fair. We're very fair. And if
Too
not,
fair.
which
Too damn fair.
we are
Honestly.
too fair. And but Zoo, that's why I said she would always have my back because sometimes we gotta be like we're at odds, with our own. and
I know.
and Zoo really loved the guys and she really championed for the guys too and she really edified them and was so soft with them, right? And everybody loved her. And she could talk her shit too, like you're right, but she was really, really sweet. Like all the guys really loved Zoo. Like that was their baby sister. Like they're like
Oh my
Zoo could do
gosh.
no
They
wrong.
adore
No wrong.
her.
Yeah.
Well, she'll get up on that stage and like terrorize everybody and be like, with love though. And yes, with love. Like, the way, like, I will never understand the way. I don't know how she did it, bro. She captivated everybody. Like, everybody was so super protective of her. The men loved that
Yeah.
girl. Like, that was little sis to the death.
Yeah.
So,
Like the men really like when I tell you Zoo really loved on all the guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I have seen them like struggle, like really struggle. Like we've been losing a lot of people, right? We're almost 2 years in to Tigray genocide, right? We are at a point where a lot of us are numb, like very, very numb. I process things very slowly now. And I can see it. I can see it it has shaken the men around us like a lot. It has shaken the men around us, and I like have been honoring that in her. Is that like, yes, we can do all of this for the women, and you know, continue to, because we need to, right? But she definitely really, really loves the men in our community. She really like was a very strong advocate. She was very determined to marry a Tigrayan man, right? It was like Tigrayan or nothing. It was, and she really loved love. Like she really wanted. I don't know how I'm gonna get this legacy across, and you're gonna have to help me, sis. But she really wanted us to love each other and marry each other and have babies, and she was very demanding about these weddings. Okay, she's very demanding.
Definitely. Yeah, I know. Um, another thing, like I think one of the recurring themes here, like you said, is just her legacy, right? So I'm in a very selfish season in my life right now. What does that mean? I'm putting me first in all aspects, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. I've been putting me first. And when you get into like that kind of rut, I call it a rut because eventually you stop being the empath. I'm an empath at heart. And so when you start living in a selfish season, you stop being empathetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything becomes around me, me, me. How could they do this to me? How could they say that to me? And it was actually Zu that pulled me aside. Like, girl, like, did you know that he was going through this on the side? Did you know that he just lost so and so? Did you know that he just buried so and so this day? And so through that, she taught me how to extend grace, right? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's not something I'm truly. I haven't practiced it like how she has apparently, but it's definitely something she's taught me. It's definitely something I want to master. You know, her legacy means everything to me. Her legacy means everything to her Tri-State family. Her legacy means everything, and I just want to do it right. I mean, like I just want to make sure we're living in her life.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's really it. She
Ugh.
loved like no other. She loved like no
She
other.
really did.
She
She's a
held
hopeless
space for you when you
romantic.
were hurting. Yeah, she held space for you when you were hurting, but she also like held you accountable when you weren't at your best. Like that's the
Yeah.
true definition of a friend, of a sister, of an ally. What else could you
Yeah.
ask for in a person?
And it's like, I don't know how many people really took the time to realize what she was going through. Because I feel like a lot of us talk about what she did for us, you know what I mean? And what she did for community. And we all do that, right? When we lose people, we're always talking about like what an impact they had and, you know, this, and that. And it's like, but she was healing from her own stuff too. Like, I I think that's the hard part for me too, is like, because I knew that side of her and I just wanted her to like win in everything because she had conquered so much already by 23. You know what I mean? Like, if you really got the chance to talk to Zu, when I say like she really loved love and was a hopeless romantic, if you understood, that girl had every reason not to believe in love. Like, she grew up in New York, y'all. Like you did too, right? Like she had every reason to not believe in love, right? She had every. There's a reason why she advocated so strongly for people, because everywhere she turned, she saw people being hurt. You know, she like got to be firsthand like a supporter to everybody, and I understand that because I grew up in that environment, and it's so hard. It's almost radical, like revolutionary, to think that like after everything that we have witnessed as a people, like the way that we grew up, you know, the difficulties that we've been through, is like Zuher really still believed in like love. She really still believed in like being a light and being a good person and helping others. And it's like, girl, like some some of the people who are the brightest, and I can use myself, right, as like putting out so much love and light into this world, is because we know what it feels like to not have it, right? So like we have seen what it does to people when it's abused, when it is taken away. We have fought through our demons. There's a reason why she championed Uprooted so much, is because me and her didn't have these outlets in our own community to like get help, to resource. We're the oldest. We're trying to help people with no tools, you know? And then we got tools and we're like, how do we get them to people? And I just like I just I don't know, man. It's really hard. Like it's like she really is like the epitome of everything that we try to get right in this world, you know? She really is. Um so
She
do
took a
talk
whole.
to us. Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying she took a whole 360 approach to healing.
Hmm.
And that's really why, like, I can't thank you enough for platforms like this. It's everything she believed in. It's everything I believe in. It's important for us to have these channels, these outlets. I know it's not easy for you. You and I talk offline all the time, and I know some of the
Yeah.
day-to-day BS that you have to deal with too. So just know that she really admires you, Hanna. I hope you really know that. Like, I know it's easy to say it. I hope you believe it though. She really did.
Oh
She
no,
believed
I
in you. She
believe
believed in
it.
your platform.
Oh, I definitely I do. I think that's why this is so hard too, because I do know it, you know? It's like it's hard to go without. Like I just miss her hugs. Like I really do. I miss like a Zuher hug is a different type of love, you know?
The whiplash from the hair.
Yeah.
One of them braids caught one of your eyes. You were out, out for the count.
Oh my God, I know, but she's like the softest teddy bear, you know?
The
Like, I would
mushiest.
really, the mushy, because I'd be like this, you know, my little ass always cold. I'm always like this.
Yeah, we
And
know.
I know people don't believe how small I am, bro, but it's okay. Like, yeah, I do. I miss her hugs. And if anything, like, I don't know, like Zuhair, like I've been saying it on the other interviews, so I'm just gonna keep repeating it so people like it catches on. But Rem said this beautiful thing like when we were talking about her, and she was just like, Zuhair is more than just like a noun, like a person. Like Zuhair is like a verb. Like Zuhair is like an action. She was like Zuhair is love. And she's like, I Zuhair you. Like it means something, you know? And I was just like, that's like I still haven't let go. And I was like, Rem, that's like the beautiful like that's like the most beautiful thing you ever said. Like that is it. Yeah, like just she's a verb. She's a verb. She's an action. She is like, when we say like love is not just words, like love is an action, you know? Like Zuhair was that. She was love in action, in real life. She was tangibly love. Like you could feel it from her all the time, you know? All the time. So I'm forever in on and like I don't know, there's people that just touch you that you carry with you for the rest of life, and she's definitely one, you know. She's definitely one. Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna pause this sniffling for a second because all of this is in preparation as well. Something that we were talking about earlier in terms of what do we do with all this pain, right? All this sniffling, all the tears, all of this stuff, and it's like we alchemize it. We turn it into something light. We turn it into something beautiful to celebrate. Like you see people like after a loved one has passed, they'll donate to a church or to a building, or they do something in their name and honoring. There's already the scholarship with TPN in Zuhair's name, and now we have her birthday coming up on the 28th, and Tri-State has been putting together a beautiful honoring and remembrance and a legacy for her to continue. So this obviously will be the first one, just like in our culture, right? We do this is something we do too. It's like you do something in honor of your loved one that's passed. So tell the people what to expect, what y'all are doing, because I think that it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. You know, I think TPN Tri-State alongside the just Tri-State Technology, we're like one and the same at this point, right? So I'm just gonna say that we are not trying to take for granted the lesson that is to be learned here, right? We want to make sure that none of this was in vain. And how do we do that? We do that by teaching others what we were taught by Zuher, right? So the whole premise, the whole reason why we're doing this, yes, is of course to celebrate her birthday. That's our sister. But it's more so to celebrate her legacy. We want to honor our community members. We want to honor each other. We want to uplift and propel our culture, right? This is what we kind of want to do. And we have a really great surprise in store for people. And so we're just looking forward to bringing in the first annual Zu Day with everybody who's coming out. And there's a few of y'all coming out, so I can't wait. You know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I don't want to see a single teary eye. Like, I want it to be fully like high energy, just celebrating her life, celebrating her legacy, and just looking to the future to see just how much better we can make it. Just walking in her light, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what it's about. We're excited. We're really excited.
Yes. Zu Day. So, you know, it's going to be the weekend of the 30th, right?
July 30th is the actual ceremony.
Okay.
We're going to probably circulate another flyer closer to the date with the address for the venue and everything like that. But people are coming in on Thursday, people are coming on a Friday, you know, show them a good time. But the day of the ceremony is July 30th.
Okay.
That's a Saturday.
Perfect. So y'all, if you can't make it, because I know travel has been insane this summer, I have been impacted too.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. So I know those in the tri-state, it's a easier, you know, you hop on a train, all them different things. More power to you, right? Like that. I would love to hop on a train. That would be so easy. But for those who can't be there physically to participate in the event, we have the Tip Hub link in the bottom of the screen here, but also it'll be in the description. So part of this is mutual aid, right? So like Zu, if you guys understood her, was very big on mutual aid. She was very big on like, you know, FUBU, for us, by us, like we gonna hold each other down. Something that we really understood. So if you
so
cannot make it,
the tip up is just to help us fund the event, right? Anything over the asked amount is going to go directly to the annual TPN scholarship, now renamed in her honor. So we're so close to our goal. Yeah, we're so close to our goal, but again, anything over our goal is going to go directly to that fund. So
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if you guys are able to, if you can, please do donate and know that even if we're at the goal is fine. That money is going to the scholarship, which is what we want anyways, right? We want to make sure that like that's a continuous scholarship, that it'll continue to help educate people in our community, and support, because the one thing about Zuher is that girl's a nerd. Okay, she love her some research and some books. Okay,
but she also wanted to educate our youth, right? So this is huge. This is huge.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hanna. Thank you for doing
course.
this. Like, this was healing for me. I didn't think it would be. I was like, low-key, I was having like so much anxiety before this. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna have me crying on camera. But it was actually really, really healing.
Good.
Girl talk.
Yeah. Of course. That's the goal. That's what I said at the beginning before we started recording.
You definitely did.
You know? I said this not scripted. Yeah, it's not. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about any of those things. We're just here because we love our sis, and like that's it, you know. And I really want the intention to be for anyone who's like watching this season and it's difficult, right? Sit with that. Sit in that discomfort. Sit in those feelings, and because that's how you know you're alive, right? That's how you know that your life means something. That's how you know that you love that person to begin with. Like your tears are just evidence, right? Like your tears are just evidence of whatever you're feeling. So it's okay to let that be the case, and they don't last all day. Sometimes they do in the beginning. Like in the beginning it's hard. But over some time it's a little bit less and less. But it's okay to just like miss somebody. Like I don't know. I've been listening to messages a lot lately of just giving ourselves space. Like I say it all the time, but I like what does that actually mean? And it's like give yourself the space to be a human. Like give yourself the space to have feelings. Like give yourself space to not have the answers and to not know the way forward. And sometimes you're just stuck for a while and it's like that's just fair to be. Like the hell? Like we didn't had a hard ass 3 years. The fact that we're even functioning, that we are standing, right? That we are going to work. Like there's not Zu didn't just pass because of this war. You know, she didn't pass because of just those things. We have had a shit ton of pressure on us for the last 3 years, like weighing on us every single day. And some of us have been putting in even more than we should, and that's taken a toll. And at 23, she had the world, like the weight of the world on her shoulders. She was learning how to be a better superhero. That's what she was doing. Every day she was just getting and trying to become a better superhero and save more people and do more for people, like every single chance that she got. And that is a heavy load to carry. So when I say give yourself space, that's really what I mean. Like, give yourself space, give yourself grace. I tell you that all the time, on and offline. I'm like, it's okay. Take your time, sis. Take your time. Like, you're not going to get over losing someone that was that much light in your life. You don't just wake up and shit's just sweet again. Like, it's not. And I love y'all too much to lie to you. I love y'all too much to be like, oh no, like let's get up and go. No, I don't want to get up and go. So let me be honest and let's like it's cool. If you gotta go to work, you gotta pay the bills, do that. But you don't have to sit here and pretend that you're happy about it. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Um, and I would be remiss, sis. You know, I can't let you leave without doing this. And I usually remind people in the beginning. I know this all of this has been about Zu and we didn't even get to all the greatness about you, right? Because you are also great. So we might have to run this back when this isn't the season that we're in. But I still want to ask you, and I still want to have it on record. While you're building Zu's legacy with all of us, what is it that you would want your legacy to be?
My legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you supposed to pick a question like that.
I mean, you watched the show, you know that's the last question. Like,
I know, but I
it doesn't matter if I prepare y'all or not. Y'all always be stuck at the end. So,
I know.
you know,
What do I want my legacy to be? I hope that I'm remembered for being fearless. I hope that I can inspire that in others. I hope that I don't know why I'm getting emotional.
it is a big question. So
I'm thinking about Zu, sorry.
It's okay. You don't gotta be sorry.
I hope that people think of me as, you know, I literally hate no one on this earth I don't have that in me. So I don't care what our exchanges were. You were always a friend. And me, and honestly, if my legacy is half, if it means half as much to you as Zu's legacy means to me, then I've done a good job. So that's all I got.
That's all you got. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Talking about that's all I got. No, it is beautiful, and I think it's something that we should all try to aspire to. I don't like to use the word should all the time, but that's something that we could do, right? It's like be a friend. Be a friend. Like that love is definitely missing, and it's one that I know you have, and one that you definitely give freely. Like, or let me say this differently, because everyone who meets you, they might not get the New York side of you right away. Okay, let me tell you something about New Yorkers. New Yorkers gotta make sure you ain't crazy first. Okay? They gotta make sure you ain't crazy. You know,
Definitely do.
you gotta make sure.
You know, I feel like my
Yeah.
personality is really polarizing, right? It's like when you're like, oh, she hella cool, love her, dope, or it's like I can't stand that. Like it's never anything in between. So
It cracks me up. It cracks. No, so that's why I wanted to set up people for the follow up, is that right, like once we know, right, because I do it too. Well, I'm gonna say we. Once we know you ain't crazy and you're not trying to hurt us and you're not like all of that, then we're real friendly. Then it's kiki, then it's jokes, it's hey, how you doing, they don't know because we didn't do this, but me and A like to use a lot of old people colloquialism.
edit. Hey, Sugarfoot.
Hey, Sugarfoot.
Hey, Sleepy.
Listen, we gonna
You
call you a
edited this
lot.
out.
No,
Please.
that's real. That's real. People need to know the real, because it goes along with your legacy, right? Because there's something very beautiful in that. Like there's something endearing in that, and it's like it's something that you wouldn't think is gonna come out of your mouth, right? So like people would be caught off guard.
Which one of y'all said that I sound like I work behind the bar, though? I'm not forgiving that. Somebody said I sound like my auntie that works behind the bar. Listen,
That wasn't me.
That's all I know.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't me. I can't take credit for that. Okay. I'm not taking credit for that one. But I said all that to say that like it's you're very welcoming, right? Like that's very like warm. It's very disarming for people, because like when a lot of people are shy, right? And even more so post pandemic, we've been living virtually. So imagine that you can make people laugh and kiki and feel welcome and comfortable even virtually, like not even in the room with them. We hadn't even met in person when I flew to New York and popped up at your apartment. Like we hadn't even had right? Hey,
Yeah.
And so I just like I want you to know you're already living in it. And let me give you your flowers too, because there's no timeouts. You gotta hold on to it. You can put your head down if you want to, because right, like there's something really special and powerful and beautiful about our community, right? But even more so, I can tell you grew up in our culture, right? I can tell you grew up in that love. I can tell you grew up in that understanding, and like you wanting to have that legacy of friendship, that legacy of just being that person, is like I'm trying to tell you already do that. You live that daily. Even if you got to correct some people, even if you got to put them in their place, okay? Even if you got to do that, I feel like you do that with love, because we can't just let people be crazy all the time. Somebody got to check them. It's not an easy job, but somebody got to tell you, like, yo, bro, that's out of line. What you doing? Hold on. We got to pull it back, right? We got to pull that back. And you do that, and you do that daily, and you have so much pressure on you that I don't want you to think that you don't work just as hard. Like Zu, none of us can compare, right? None of us. We all have our own lane. We all do. But you have just a bigger heart, right? You probably somebody that Zu looked up to. We didn't even get to that part of your history. You guys grew up together, right? Like, you're somebody that Zu got to watch growing up. She got to see you. Like, you had an influence on that girl too. Like, she got to watch you guys be hospitable. She got to watch you guys carry on the culture, to be proud and to do all those things. She got to grow up in that environment. You were part of that. And I don't want you to ever like think that you are not center and core to that too. That you aren't just as important, that you don't also do that, because it's a thing. It could who's Zu bouncing off of? She bouncing off of you. And she can't do that with you if you can't do that with her. Because what? Real recognize real. You know, I gotta keep it gangster for us. So I just gotta keep it gangster for us. And it's just because I'm not gonna try to make you boohoo too much. But I want y'all to really know that. I want you to feel it. Just like you said to me, I want you to feel it. I want you to know it. You literally like would just be like, we'll make it happen. Yeah, everybody just come here. We're gonna do this. Like, just make sure that everybody's good and comfortable. Like, I'm over here like, did you eat? Can we take care of you? And you're like, don't worry about me. We just gonna get everybody else taken care of. And you have that in you. And I don't want you to go through life not having someone tell you that you're doing the damn thing. You're doing an amazing job. Putting all of this on your back since Zu passed, to put the funeral together, to put the service together, to even consider putting Zu Day together, to going to check on her family all the time, and you still checking on everybody. Like, you stepped in and you've been doing what Zu would have wanted you to do, and you've been carrying that weight. Yeah, no, you don't get to deflect, because everybody's not here on on camera with us. So don't worry, they've been invited. They will get their flowers too. They've been invited. Okay, they are invited. They will get their flowers delivered. Don't worry about it. But I want you to hear that. I want you to know that, because it's a lot to carry, and I want you to know you're not carrying it alone. You know.
That means a lot. Everything.
Yeah.
Especially hearing it from you. Everything.
Got you.
You know you've been homie. Thank you.
That's it. I got you. You know I got you. We gonna ride this thing out together.
I fought to keep the tears at bay when you were talking.
Listen, I know. I know. I think I did really
for everybody.
Sis, why you think I take so many breaks?
Why
do you think I take so many breaks?
You sure told me, like, get your water, get your napkins, make sure you have. I'm like, all right, what do we need all that for? I'm like, okay.
Now you know.
Yeah, now I know for the second time. Like, now, next time I'm gonna come prepared, like really prepared. I was like nervous. I didn't want to cry on camera. Did it to me anyway. No, but it's honestly really hard. It's really hard to like receive flowers, right? And I sound like a hypocrite because I'm like, we gotta give, her legacy is like giving people their flowers, and I'm sitting here like, but like that's kind of like our culture too. Like that's like behavior. But yeah, I just that not like more of that just with everybody, not me.
Yeah.
More
Listen, y'all. The only way that you're gonna get used to it is if we keep doing it, and we don't have to just keep doing it until we change the culture. That's literally what we're doing here. We're changing culture. Zu wanted to change that culture. I'm gonna keep pushing. So y'all gonna have to get used to people being nice to you. I wish that was a burden, but it's not. So yeah.
Imagine, did you just hear what you just said? You have to get used to people being nice to you. Like, imagine, like that's a bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Bar right
it's
there.
crazy. It is. I hope y'all caught that. I hope you caught that in your spirit because a lot of y'all are not used to people being kind to you, and it hurts to hear that. And we are doing our best to try to change that. So I'm gonna let us leave here. I want to thank you for coming on
Thank
again,
you.
everybody. Of course, everybody. Make sure you can go to the Tip Hub link and support Zoo Day. Make sure that you are following us on the Uprooted Network everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all them places, Spotify. And do me a favor, y'all. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. I'm really tired of these people not hitting buttons. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
You know what? I'm actually, because I don't even be on. Let me do that right now. I'm
You
gonna do it
see, look at
live.
it. We do it
How
live.
about it?
We need people to subscribe, like, and share. We are going to continue to grow this network. We're going to continue to grow Zoo's legacy. If you have not, please check out the website and get the Zoo merch because we
You
are
see, you can't see
also
your phone.
no. It's okay. We believe you. We believe you. She got it. Everybody, make sure
That's
you're
right.
checking out the website. We got Zoo merch, continuing to build out Zoo's legacy, building out the scholarship, education programs, community programs, mutual aid, everything that she dreamed of, we are going to do, and we need your help to do it. And if you don't have financial support, that's fine. The subscribe, like, and share is free. So go ahead and
Free,
do
free
that,
as hell. I just
folks.
did it. I just did
Yes, free
it.
99. That's it. It takes 2 seconds, all right? Like go do that. Make sure you do that so that I can continue doing this for us and getting our people the resources they need. So, with that said, thank you so much, A.
Oh,
Y'all.
it was a pleasure,
Yes.
girl.
Thank
This
you.
is this is amazing. Good job. Good
Yes.
job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, do you want
Okay.
to like end it here? Like, I want to,
Yeah. We're
yeah.
we're gonna hit them with the peace sign and we're gonna stop recording here.
All right.